How are you guys doing? Good afternoon, Math 8. I'm hoping everybody's staying healthy and being able to be inside and just complete assignments as well. I want to thank you guys. I've been grading a lot of your work. There's been some good stuff that I've been commenting on. Please go back and look at the comments. If you're receiving low grades, please go back and resubmit them. That way your grade can be pushed up a little bit more than it is, all right? What I want to do today is continue to work on our Unit 9 dilation transformations. We're going to focus on looking at dilations and reflections today, right? These are more than one transformation happening. We have today's reflection and dilation, and then finally tomorrow's rotation and dilation. And then what we'll do is we'll play around with some Delta Math stuff, and we'll end the unit with a multiple choice quiz or test that I'm giving you guys just to allow you to practice and be able to still test your knowledge on the content, okay? Let's dive in. Let's look at the worksheet today. It's not hard. It's not too different from the last worksheet you received, but it will demand that you remember the reflection rules. If you don't remember reflection rules, this will be a little bit tough. That's why even on the actual bell work, I'll put review there, because it's good that we review and look back on the content. That way you can hold on to it, okay? So we're reflecting dilated image. Imagine I gave you a point like A, right? 3, -5. I'm asking that you reflect this point over the y-axis. So reflect this point over the y-axis would indicate that the y stays the same, x changes, right? So y stays the same, x changes. If you need to write that anywhere, make a little note somewhere, or just go back and refresh your information on reflection rules, that's fine as well. So on this particular point, I'm going to rewrite the new point to look something like this: -3, -5. Now, why is that? Because y stays the same, -5. However, x changes from a +3 to a -3. All right. Now, if you look at B, right, we're given a new point here. We're given the same exact point that we had, -3, -5, and we're asking that you dilate this. Keep in mind for the bell work, if you wanted to just pause it and knock them out and then just check and fast forward to where the answers are, that's perfectly fine. Thank you, buddy. But I do want to go through them as quick as I can. That way, if there is any questions that about, oh, how did you do that? I want you to know it. When we reflect over the y value stays the same, x changes. When we reflect over the x value stays the same, the y value changes. So this point B here is talking about dilating. We need to dilate this point A prime with a scale factor of 2. What does that mean? That means that we're going to multiply, right? We talked about scale factor being multiplication, factor, multiplication. We're going to multiply each part of this coordinate by 2. So that means we're going to do -3 times 2, and we're going to do -5 times 2. So what is -3 times 2? We get -6. When we do -5 times 2, we get -10. All right, so this is what our new coordinate looks like: -6, -10. Look at C. It says reflect over the x. I talked to you about that a little while ago. That means that the x is going to stay the same, whereas the y is going to be the one that's changing. When we look at D, we see that we have 2, -8. That is an indication that we are going to, that's our new point, but we need to multiply by a scale factor of 1/2. What does that mean? We're going to multiply 2 times 1/2. When you do 2 times 1/2, or you think about what is half of 2? Half of 2 is 1. What is half of -8? -4. Now, of course, once again, the scale factor can be many different numbers. It could be 1/3, 1/6. It could be a lot of different fractions as well. I want to keep it simple with 1/2. That way you make sure we multiply by 1/2, okay? Take a second. If you need to copy down the notes and pause it, please do so. I'm going to clear the text in 3, 2, 1. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. So what I want to do is this. I want us to practice doing multiple transformations. Now note, I want us to practice doing them not from the original. And that's what you can see when I wrote actual modeling here, not from the original. We're going to go from A prime or B prime in these cases. I want you to practice taking one image and doing a double transformation to it, because that'll help you be able to actually do it, right? Actually perform it. Now, given the point A, right, we have 3, -5. 3, -5. We need to reflect this point over the y-axis to form A prime. reflected over the y-axis, and then dilated a scale factor of 2. Now remember, actually, if you look at the actual modeling, this is the same exact point that we did. 3, -5, when it's reflected over the y, we said that that point would become, right, when it becomes reflected over the y, we get -3, -5. Right, we already talked about this one. Oh, see, I've got some technical difficulties going on here. Okay. Okay, that would become -3, -5. Okay. Whereas then it says to dilate that point a scale factor of 2. Right, to dilate a scale factor of 2 means we're going to multiply that, and we wrote this down as well in the bellwork, -6, -10. Now remember, I want to make sure you're able to identify coordinates. It's very important that you can look at a coordinate plane and say exactly where those coordinates are. I know this is like repetition over and over again, but I want you to get better at it. You need to get better at it. -3, -5, right? -3, -5 is down here, right? Like right about here. I'm going to make a nice dot there, right? And I'm going to label this dot, right? We want to make sure we label it. This is A prime, right? You also may want to get to go and actually do A, which is 3, -5, which is on the other side over here. That's A. And then finally, we need to make sure we also label A double prime, which is -6, -10, which is all the way down here. Okay. When we go to look at B, now B is a little bit different. I know it's similar points to the ones above, but they're not going to give you the same exact points. We need to dilate this first, a scale factor of 1/2. That is going to give us 1, -4, as we talked about earlier. And then they want you to reflect it over the x-axis. Remember, x-axis means x stays the same, 1, and y is what's going to change, 4. So when I go to plot all of these points, remember, make sure you label them correctly. 2, -8. This is your B. Then you go and label B prime, which is 1, -4, which is right here. That's B prime. And finally, when we reflect it over the x-axis, we get 1, 4, which leaves us with right here, and that is our B double prime. Okay, your goal is to identify each one of these coordinates. Do not connect the lines. Do not try to make an image. Do not try to make a triangle or a rectangle. Just take the points and label them like I have done here. That way, when you submit it, I'm looking to see the points. I'm looking to see the points in the right spot, and I'm looking to make sure the coordinates are also correct. If I do not see the actual points in the right spot and you just wrote the coordinates, I'm only going to give you half credit for the assignment. You need to show me that you also know how to identify where the points go. A lot of you guys have been identifying the points, but not showing it on the graph. Please, even if you're writing it down on the hard copy on the side, please draw yourself some coordinates, right? It's not hard, right? And also tell me where the dots are. If you do not do that, I'm not going to be able to give you full credit, okay? Please practice both of these transformations together. I don't believe it's too complicated, but feel free to write a comment underneath the actual section on Delta Map. I'm going to clear this in 3, 2, 1. And once again, thank you guys so much for logging in and watching the video. Please complete assignments, whether it's this assignment or any ones that you haven't done in the past. Also stay current with the Delta Math assignments, because I do want to make sure you get as much practice as you can, as well as complete those Throwback Thursdays, Flashback Fridays, and Taco Tuesdays, all the different ones we have on there, okay? So I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.